The easiest way to describe is a buddy comedy with two very unlikely characters who are very self-centered in the beginning. They're loners, they don't like partners, and during the course of the film they have to learn to work together. It's a little bit like in real life. So I think, and that's also the strength of it, is two opposite characters sort of coming together, finding themselves, learning to trust themselves, and go out there and save, in this case, a panda. Frank is the classic, in the beginning, the classic FBI agent, lots of attitude, knows everything. And I think, being called in on such an investigation is a little bit beneath him. And on the other side, we have Max, who is a canine dog who happens to understand humans, who has very little respect or time for anyone who is sort of in his way. And he does not want to have partners, and therefore he is extremely irritated when he finds out in the very beginning that he is blowing up an FBI investigation. He's great improvisation. I think he has the look, the attitude, the voice. He is extremely funny and spontaneous, and I think he's fresh. I mean, he's someone that we haven't seen in a role like this too much, and it is enjoyable to see him interact with the dogs and the rest of the cast, and I think it was a strike of luck that we got him. She's extremely smart and beautiful, and I think there's a spark in her eyes that transcends, and it's great for the relationship between her and Frank, or Will in real life. I don't think anybody has ever seen Shaq doing any voice acting of this nature. He plays an incredibly picturesque dog, huge Hungarian sheepdog, which is a lot of fun, called Karma. We have Alan Cummings, I think very, very funny and eloquent, and has a very distinguished voice. And then obviously the great Stanley Tucci, who I don't think I have to say much about, who does it in his sleep. And then to put the dot on the I, we have Fluffy, Mr. Iglesias, who is a consummate voice artist, comedian, hugely popular, and I think the vibe between all those characters together, and if you see the different breeds of dogs against them as they play it, it becomes a very fun and interesting collection. We're using a Rottweiler as our main star, who is maybe in the beginning more fearful than cute, but when you meet the dog in real life, he's the cutest thing ever. And I think I would have never considered a Rottweiler before, but I'm completely in love with that dog, and hence with that breed. They are fantastic animals and friends. We are extremely fortunate to have Mike and his crew working on them, and the way they trained them and the way they interact with them, it's phenomenal to see. Very impressive. I mean, they really become these characters in a way that I would have never had anticipated. I thought you must have many different dogs to play one role, but in a way, these dogs somehow understand their characters. Is fun for families of all ages to see, and even adults that enjoy a good 96 minutes of an escape into a world of fantasy. And it's a simple story, but it's a relevant story in a way, and I think it should be very enjoyable and a lot of fun.